And Megan is absent. We knew ahead of time that she was going to be out today. I have not heard yet from the mayor that we have a new member. Moving on. The minutes of the last meeting. Does anyone have any corrections or comments?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as written or read.
Okay, can we have a second for the minutes?
Can I second my own?
Yes.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Paul?
Yes.
Ray, yes. Green?
Yes.
Minutes are approved unanimously. All right, put that over there. What did I just do with those? Nothing. Announcements. As I said, I had a meeting with the mayor, which I will mention eventually, but I have not yet heard whether we have a new board member. And as next month is the last meeting of the year, we may not have one until the new year. Reports. Clubhouse.
All right. Well, the year's kind of winding down a little bit, slows down starting September to down to October, and the weather's changing a little bit. So, but in the past month since we've talked, biggest thing, we talked about the clubhouse and the pro shop. We had a water line we were talking about getting the city water ran to the clubhouse, and that project has been completed, and clubhouse is on city water now instead of well water, and which, I mean, I'm not going to give a number because I don't know the number, but it'd be a very expensive project, but we got it done at a minimal cost the way it was done. The city or the Winterberry irrigation crew ran the lines and charged us for the material, and Cliff from our Parks Department finished the project with the final connections, you know, digging it with the excavators and all, so that was a great cost effective there. So we did it in-house, and thanks to Cliff, got right on it, and everything's working good. So we, as far as I know, that's the first time we've ever had city water run to the clubhouse. So, and it's working out well. And also the irrigation team ran us a separate line, which we're planning a project to run a drinking fountain out to the middle of the golf course on the backside. It's going to be sitting around right around number 13T. And it's going to be a drinking fountain out there again. So we'll have a drinking fountain on the backside again, hopefully, whenever we get time.
Are you saying that there, a long time ago, there used to be one?
There used to be a lot of them out there. We used to have one, I think, on 16, 13, 18,
Oh, my.
6. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And there's not any on the backside now, but now we've got a line run, and I'm assuming whenever Cliff finds time, I don't know when that's going to be, but it'll get done, I'm sure. And it'll be right when he gets it done. Another thing we've been working on is at the pavilion there by the clubhouse. We have what we call the wall, and it's got names on it and memories and all. So we've been working on that and advertising for anyone wanting to purchase a brick. And we ended up with, we have 23 that we've given to Caldwell's and that they're going to go with. So that's where we're stopping now. And I talked to them yesterday, so they're planning on having that done by the end of October or the 1st of November. So those bricks will be should be done and in place for the
Jake,
winter
what
time.
was the cost?
I'm sorry.
What was the cost to purchase a brick?
$80.
80?
$80 per brick, yeah.
So it says 22 here, and you've had one more since then?
Yes, that's true, yeah. I put 22 on here, and I got one yesterday and added one, so, yeah, 23 now. And then Caldwell mentioned that if we choose to do it again, or more people are interested in it, that they like to have a minimum of 10 before they come on site. So we'll start it up again next year, but that'll be it for this year, the 23, so it's a cutoff now.
Oh, okay.
And the leagues and the outings and the golf teams here, we had 5 leagues all summer, and all 5 completed their season. North Miami golf team's our home team there, and they completed their fall season. We hosted 19 outings this past summer, a golf clinic, a Muni Club Championship, some large outings, and some were larger than others, some smaller. And we hosted our last outing last Sunday, October the 5th, which was the Peru Community Schools, and it was a 27-team outing, that was the largest one we've had. We had a 26 team, and this was the largest at 27. That's a bear. And we have 50 golf carts, and 50 golf carts is 25 teams if there's no golf carts. But so if you go over 25 teams, you've got to have members that have golf carts. So we were fortunate enough to, have some members in the tournament. So we ended up with some golf carts, and of course, whoever's hosted or whoever's having the outing, they always need carts for running around, getting certain places. So you have to have a couple additional carts there. So
The barn was empty, wasn't it?
we got it done. We got it done. So it all worked out. So it all worked out. And also we've, since we've had alcohol this summer, we've been experimenting with a beverage cart out there. So we've done that the last couple outings, and that's worked out pretty well. We've had somebody out there with our iPad and coolers on a,
Popular, I gather.
yeah, and so we've used a Toro, little, whatever you call it, Toro Gator, whatever you call them, but the little dump thing on the back. We put a couple coolers on there, filled them with beverages, alcohol, and soda and stuff, and ran the golf course as this outing was going on, and it went well.
So you really won't have a yearly average until the end of next year, will you?
An average of,
What the alcohol raises?
Alcohol sales.
no, I don't, I
No,
don't.
that's what I'm saying, you won't until next.
Right, right. Yeah, we started it in July. That's when we got our license. It started then, so we haven't. But it's been picking up. I mean, it's been picking up. It's been picking up on a daily basis. I mean, people are coming in, and they know we have it now, and so they're, people like to have a drink here or there as they're playing and stuff. So it's been kind of gradually picking up. So, and I put on here we have currently, like, for next year, I've been selling the outings for next year and approaching everybody that we've had an outing with, booking them for next year. And as of, I wrote this, but I have 20 commitments for next year. And we gained another one last night. Someone called me, so we got 21 commitments now. I'm assuming they'll all go. You never know when the year comes, but that's 21 commitments for outings for next year. So that's in good shape there. So, and again, the season's, it's quieting down, and we're getting to the end of it, and kind of preparing for things. I mean, I don't want to get stuck with a whole lot of inventory, like whether it be alcohol, whether it be snacks, or, so we're kind of minimizing, as we're going down, because I'm figuring here shortly, maybe I'm thinking the end of October might be kind of closing time probably, and then weather's coming. So, and we're starting to look at, we got to look for rates for next year. We're trying to get something figured out, get a meeting or something to negotiate some rates or figure out how we're going to do that and what the rates are going to be. We had a lot of members asking what the rates are going to be, so I want to get that project going. And we're looking at projects, ideas, and goals to improve the community every day. I mean, all the time, whether it's this year, next year, when we get something done, that part's done, and we move on. So always looking. 2026, looking for another good year. This is my first year, and I've absolutely enjoyed it. It's been successful, I think, and I've had a lot of help, and I think we've done a lot of positive things, and more to come.
Well, I think I speak for all of us here that you've done a great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Clubhouse, golf course.
Yeah, my weekly duties haven't really changed much, except for we've been out leaf blowing a little bit here lately. Other than that, the new irrigation project is complete. I've been out adjusting some heads, tossing a lot of water. If you haven't been up and
put that on my list of next week.
Yeah, just give me a call. We've been throwing a lot of grass seed and split seeding and fertilizing, and had to pick up some rocks from a couple areas out there where they, were in there doing some of the irrigation projects. We aerated greens the 15th. Basically, took us about 3 days to do that. They tailed up. Got a clip seeded a nursery green back there by the shop for plugs and stuff. So it's, like he said today, it's about ready already to be cut maybe. So that's taking off real nice. And we get ready to start spraying chemicals for broadleafs, and then blowing out the irrigation lines in November. Other than that, that's about all I got.
But you are happy with the new system?
Yeah, it's beautiful, yeah. It's a little bit of a learning process, but we'll get there. You can already tell the difference just by driving through the park. Seeing where there's water, and that's about all we're mowing right now, is where the water's throwing.
All right, anyone have any questions? Gary? Nope. Parks?
Well, the splash pad is shut down for the season.
Oh, you did do that. I wasn't sure whether you were going to have it all shut down and maybe just open it on weekends.
No, the weather's pretty much turned, so we shut it down for the year, and the company that did the install is coming out on the 21st to go through winterization with us. They basically go through the first winterization for us as part of their contract, so we'll be doing that on the 21st. There's still a few little punch list items they've got to take care of. We pulled all the flower pots and baskets from downtown this week since they had the fall decorations up. That's done. We've been working on the drainage up at the golf course. Get a group of my guys pretty much been up there every day on that. With the dry conditions, like Gary said, he's only mowing stuff he's watering, and we don't have any irrigation anywhere. So we kind of went through today and just spot mowed some areas where the weeds were getting tall, but the mowing's been minimal. We've been continuing. I think we might get done with dead trees this year.
Wow.
At least in the parks. We've been doing some trimming and whatnot, helping with some other stuff on the golf course. The remainder of the season, continue working on equipment as needed. Like I said, I think we got trees pretty well done. At some point, we're going to work on that fence there at 3 cart path. And then if they need help at the Rotary Park, I haven't heard from anyone there in a while. Patrick Redmond did the paint work up there. It turned out nice. And he actually stopped by and he applied for a art grant for Quantiqua Park so he could do some more trash cans and stuff like that, some artwork in there. So he did that last week. It was due by the end of September, so he got that grant application in. So hopefully he gets that and we get some more artwork in the parks done by him. And we also have the concession stand to finish up this winter at some point. Other than that,
That poor concession stand.
as soon as we got metal.
Seems to languish
I was
for
gonna say, it
years
just
and
seems
years.
like that's drug on
Well,
forever.
it's one of those things where,
I mean, if you
It-
didn't know how big it was, you would think this was an enormous thing, the amount of time it's on our
Well, there was no plan
Job
for
security.
anybody. Yeah.
it's job security, you
Heck
still have
yeah.
something to do.
Well, when there's no plans for anybody to use it, it's kind of hard to Right. put it high
The
on the priority
motivation,
list when there's so much
yeah.
other stuff to do, you know?
Yeah, but it's been a good year for you in getting caught up on many things, painted and
Yep, the
repaired.
interns, we got a lot done with them this year.
Well, I think the parks looks great, I really do. And I know when my friend and I drive round, you know, she only comes kind of every other year. She was really impressed with how neat and tidy and painted and cared for everything was when I drove around. So I think it's a good thing when someone who lives miles away actually notices, well, not miles, thousands of miles, actually notices. So thank you. Anyone have any questions for Cliff?
Nope.
Old business. I didn't have any. Do you have any old business? No? New business. Me, Paul. I met with the mayor and he was very encouraged to see the progress everyone has made in the park system. You'll be glad to hear, and I was really glad to hear, that the bathrooms money is in the budget for 26, 27. They are going to start on, I'm going to say replacing. Now, whether that means building from scratch or going down to a certain level, I don't know, but there is money in the budget to start. And I think that was one of our big concerns, that we actually start to make an effort on this. He told me that he had someone give him kind of a quick, not so much a quote, but an idea, and he blinked and thought, my goodness, this is a lot of money, and it was way in line with what we had received previously. Bathrooms are very, very expensive. The one thing I did suggest to him was, let's make them utilitarian. They do not need to be God's gift to bathrooms. They just need to be a bathroom. Now, do you, when we only need to have one, do you just make it ADA compliant so you don't need to build an extra stall? Or how you do this, but let's make them functionable, but without being absolutely top of the line. They don't need to be that way. So I think this is one of the things he's going to start on when they have money. So hopefully next year we will see somewhere start.
And where are you talking at on bathrooms?
The ones in,
Quanqua Park.
yeah,
West
McCarthy
City
Park,
and
West City,
Amphitheater area.
Sure.
yeah. And I think he said the ones in the park. Now, did he say lower level or upper park?
Upper Park's the oldest
I
one.
think he might be
And-
starting in,
Those two are, upper and lower are the two worst ones. in
yeah,
my
so I
opinion.
think that's going to be the
Amphitheater's not
focus
far
to
behind.
start with.
Yeah.
I asked him about Cliff's concerns with old park playground equipment, and he said for you to make a list of what you feel needs to be replaced so that we can work on that. Now, if that,
Actually, Andrea emailed me, and she applied for a grant. There's this company, one of the playground manufacturers, they would match any grant to where basically if everything went through, we would get it for free at that point. So we'll see if we do any good with that. But
well, he was quite open to doing this, because I know you had mentioned that some of it was pretty old, and it may not be, you may not be able to get parts for it, or something like that.
Right.
So he was quite keen on that. I mentioned with regard to the old basketball court and the idea of making that parking, and he thought that was a good idea. So he made a note to find out what would be required of the city to do that, because he said, all we need to do is take down the fencing and make some entry to it and maybe stripe it. And he said, was that to be restricted for only the splash pad? And I said, no, it just needs to be parking. There just isn't enough parking. I mentioned the thought of putting a new court attached to the volleyball court, because there was already fencing there, And he said, well, that's definitely something to think about. And I asked, well, if we're putting one up, can we put up two? Because you are just extending the fencing and the asphalt. I will say that wrong. How do you say it?
Asphalt.
Asphalt. Asphalt. And of course, then I said to him, Tar Macadam, and he said, what? And I said, that was the man who invented it. He said, okay. Like ringing on the phone, he said, and I said, because we had that conversation about, I said, I'll ring you, and he said, what? And now he goes, call, ding, ding, and I thought, it's funny. Anyway, so he's made a note of that also. I don't think that is something that will get done this coming year, because the money was in the budget to do that, to move the basketball court. But with the reductions in taxes via the state, the money had to come from somewhere to make it up, and that was the one thing that went. Bathrooms were more important. So I don't know that there will be a court there soon unless someone wants to volunteer and spend the money and put in a basketball court.
Where does he want it to go?
Well, Cliff would like
My
it.
suggestion was right next to the volleyball court, because you
Next
already
to
got a
the
fence there, so you don't have to fence three sides.
Oh, so he hasn't. Okay.
No,
I
he
was
hasn't.
misunderstood.
Yeah.
I thought he was putting it somewhere else and
Well,
saying no.
No.
You're thinking of the fitness.
Yeah.
equipment.
Yeah, I haven't got to that
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But he is open to when it moves, turning Schilling into
See, oh,
a
yes.
parking lot.
Yes, but where we
Gotcha.
actually put
Gotcha.
courts, only if it's one or two, is still open for debate.
But I do
It
agree.
is going to
It
be
should
moved.
go right there.
Yeah. Now, the fitness establishment, I guess you would go, did you watch the
Equipment.
video? Did you watch the
I
video?
didn't.
Okay, you watched it? What did you think?
I mean, it is nice, and I think it would be a great addition to
Right.
the parks. I just don't know
Well, I
that
mentioned.
2026
Yes,
is
I
our year.
mentioned that to him, that, we would rather see what we've got taken care of properly. Getting the equipment that we have replaced if necessary, before we would start on a new venture for something that, we don't have money for anyway. And he said he was still in contact to get estimates for the cost of all this, and he was supposed to have had a meeting, I'm thinking last week, with someone who would have a better idea for something like that. I mentioned to him, we asked whether you could put a smaller area of the same type of things in Davis Park. Given that there is only children's stuff, whether you could put a small thing in a corner somewhere that would allow parents to do things whilst they were there with their young children. And he thought, well, that might be something to think about too. So the money would have to come from somewhere, and he did not specify exactly where that was going to be. I mentioned our thoughts on that you might be able to tap into health companies for grants or for donations, given that they all want people to be healthy. And he said he would be exploring all sorts of funding for this. So on the whole, I thought it was very productive. I was really glad to hear that the bathrooms were on the list and they were not cut. So I'm no doubt Cliff will be hearing about how that's going to get handled. One of the things he did mention was that if we demolish them ourselves, that saves a little, and we could easily do that, given that you'd probably blow some of them down anyway. So,
You can call me, Cliff. I'll come.
sledgehammer and
get-
toe?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
so,
just gonna use the excavator, the thumb, just
do you?
right
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the dump truck.
Well, what fun is that?
Well, that's true. There is something.
It depends on if
primal
you're
in
running the
knocking
excavator
down
or
that
not.
whole thing.
Can I get one picture knocking something down, and then you can...
You can come beat it up if you want to,
Okay.
and then I'll finish it off.
Thanks.
So that's basically what we talked about. He did say that someone has offered him a caboose, given that this is a railway town. I don't remember who he said it was from, but it's about, did he say 20 foot long by about 12? No, 8, 10 foot wide. But it was a little caboose.
Yes.
That he wondered if we had any thoughts where we would like it put if he accepts the donation.
And it's what exactly?
A caboose,
An old railroad caboose.
yes.
You're too young to remember.
I mean, I'm like, it's like an
Yeah.
actual,
Yeah, but
like,
it's not a rail car that people go in. This is a caboose.
like a model of a caboose,
it's a
or like a
real
real,
It's a
true.
real true blue caboose.
Yep.
But they were used for all sorts of movement of things, correct?
I mean, when I was a kid, every train had one in the
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not that young.
Well, me
I'm
too.
just giving you a hard time.
This is a
I'm just trying to
railroad.
picture what we're inheriting.
Well, the guy thought, seeing as we were railroad town and this was the nickel plate trail, whether it might be nice to have it put somewhere. So our thoughts are, we should think about this. And how do we want to use it? Do we want to leave it open-ended? Do you want people to be able to reserve it? I didn't have any real thoughts on that.
That's
actually.
interesting.
A good place for it, if it eventually happens, if we ever get that trail done, going from the old Square D building to Mexico.
Over on the
That
other
would
side,
be a
Those
nice spot.
homes that all got bought up and they're doing that remediation work there, eventually that property is gonna be donated to the city once their remediation work's done. And it'll be minimum of 3 years, they said.
so that would be where the extension to meet, the one that comes down from
Yep.
Denver?
Yes.
Okay.
Because there's actually quite a big area right there.
Oh, yeah.
Are we going to do anything else there? Or is that still in the works?
Like I said, it's at least 3 years out minimum before we even get
Get the land?
possession of that property. And they said probably more like 5 or more. So I'm not sure how all that's gonna work exactly, but they're in the I haven't been down there a while, but they planted all the trees.
Yes, I saw the trees were in.
That whole system is kind of interesting. They call it phytoremediation, or I think that's what they called it. But anyhow, they auger holes all the way down to the contaminated layer. I think it was like 15 feet down where the water table is. And they put plastic liners all the way down to that contaminated area. Then they plant trees and put this growing media in there. So basically the trees suck the contamination out of the ground.
Cool.
Huh. Okay.
So that's what they're doing down there now. Last time I was down there, trees were planted and they were starting to do some landscaping around them.
What did they plant?
The willows, cottonwood, and ginkgo.
Okay.
I love that you care what type of tree it is.
Well, yeah, but some trees are better at doing this type of
The
thing than others.
cottonwoods cottonwoods and willows were the main ones because they are water-loving
Right.
plants. So the ginkgos were just another one, I guess. That
They
was
have
growing.
such pretty leaves, ginkgos.
The thing I like about ginkgos, if you ever notice this, watch them this fall. They drop all their leaves,
In one go. Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
They hang on, that nice yellow color,
And then
then all of a
they're
sudden, gone.
Yeah, gone. Yeah.
So you don't really have to mess with them much. Like Monday you'll come out and they'll all be down.
Yeah. It's not like a,
It's almost like it happens
tomato,
overnight.
it takes like, it seems to me 6 months to drop its leaves.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I need to go back to the caboose. So, are you gonna, like, is it gonna be open? Like,
Well-
people could go into it?
Yeah, I
Is
think
it
so,
gonna
because
be
I don't think it has, I didn't think this one, he didn't say whether it had a roof. I thought cabooses were open roofed.
No, they have roofs.
Some of them have roofs?
Yeah,
Well, they all have roofs.
all the ones around here have
Oh,
roofs.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm picturing like you could get up and like walk
Run through it.
around the little X like not actually enter
Oh,
it.
no, I think you can get into this. I don't think
Yeah,
it has,
I don't think you can walk around them.
no, it's.
You know, you like
As-
go up
as
the little
they are.
ladder, there's a platform, and then you
Yeah.
go down the other side. That's what I'm picturing.
You can ride it to Logansport if you want.
It's
We
all
could,
downhill.
Gary. Don't tempt me with a good time, Gary.
We get like the river.
And so he's just asking what would be a good location if we accept it.
Yeah, yeah,
Let it be
It's
noted.
beautiful.
I know.
I'd
I
have
did
to
a-
see it
I
to
did
see whether
She's drawing
technical
it.
drawing.
To see whether it's worth accepting, honestly.
Yeah,
That's the
Yeah,
thing too.
yeah.
I don't
No,
want
Park
I
it
don't
over there
know.
by those rail
If
cars.
it's a big rusty mess, then.
I don't want
Yeah. Park
something
it over there
that's
by
just
the
gonna-
sliding
But if
rail
it's been
cars.
refurbished,
Right, restored or whatever.
yeah.
Right.
Because you could do it, put the, kind of like they did down there by Wings, where they put the
the
rear
rolling.
Yes,
ties and the
yes.
tracks. You could just sit it on a short section
Right.
of track like that.
Well, you know, I was thinking that you could put, if we put a table in it and you could sit in there and have your lunch or something, or reserve it and people could have a family thing.
I'm thinking it might be nice where the Riverwalk and the Nickel Plate meet, like somewhere in that area.
Down by the Riverside
Yeah,
place?
We don't really have
I know that's a horrible spot.
any
but-
property there either,
Oh, we don't own that?
that we didn't last I knew.
So that little roundabout there, we don't own that?
No, he's saying the field right
Oh.
there.
The field right there by the bridge.
Wow, I didn't know we didn't own that.
Yeah, I think,
privately owned.
yeah, I think
The-
somebody's
The land
talking
that
about
the
putting
actual trail is on was donated to us,
housing in their apartments.
but someone else owns that big field back there.
All right, never mind.
Is that where the houses are going?
Potentially, yes. I don't know if that's a done deal or not.
What's the soil like?
It's got to be crap.
I have no idea.
I mean,
It's
would it be
Because
still-
like where the Y was built and everything, that was
Yeah.
horrible.
That's-
And I
I don't
can
know if
only
that's-
imagine it
That's
goes.
muck, isn't it, down in there?
I don't think so. Like he was saying, if it's part of the old CSX property, it's coal and gravel and, because that's
And
what
yet
we ran
more
into when they
traffic.
dug the splash pad, is they couldn't
Mhm.
use they couldn't backfill around it because it was all coal
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Oh, and I did mention yet again about sidewalks.
Oh my God.
I know. He just looked at me, but, you know, that was okay. But that was kind of the discussion. I was only there for,
It
I don't know, 20, 25 minutes.
It would kind of be neat to put it where they're talking about putting what was the siding, those two cars that are setting, where they're gonna put those down there by Wings. That's why that track was laid.
Are they putting them back? Because I know they had taken them away to restore them, right?
Well,
No idea what's going
they're over on 8th Street setting, that have set for years, because nobody's raising money to restore them. Or
on. I think Foreman was involved with that
if he is,
somehow. or other.
I must admit, I always enjoyed eating there.
yeah.
That
but
was always fun.
They're setting across from that where they were.
Mm.
And they're trying to get the money raised to restore them. And they were supposed to go down there. That's why that track was laid by Wings. But nothing's moving on them that I know of. I'll talk to Paul and ask him.
Yeah.
Well, if you would like to do that, if
But
you all have any other ideas.
That would be an interesting place to put.
And maybe
the
we can
caboose.
come up
The
with some
caboose
ideas
would
for
look
next
better there
week,
than those
next
two
month.
cars, honestly.
Well, in their condition, yeah.
Right, especially in their current condition.
But, I mean, if you put the two cars there, if you had room, then you hook the caboose on the end.
Well, now you need an engine. I mean, you can't
Well,
have two
no.
cars.
Yeah, you can.
I have,
And then we're going to take it to Logan Sport.
Well, we used to have an engine in West City, but that's long since gone.
well, there used to be a big turnaround down there, wasn't there? Down by the-
Yeah, there was a roundabout,
Yeah, for turning the engines.
but they put a old steam engine right where, it said about right where the girls softball announcers box is right now.
Huh.
And then they moved it, it's in North Judson, in a restoration facility or something.
Oh, okay. Well, there used to be an interurban, wasn't there? A
Mhm.
train line that came down from God knows where. This was a lot,
Anyhow.
there were a lot of trains in and out of here.
I'm really gonna think about this caboose.
Okay, good. Well, if you've got any questions.
You've given me a lot to think about.
Well, I was caboose.
Why don't
It's
you
not,
find out where it's at and go take some pictures for us?
Yeah.
yeah.
Fine, I'll do that.
Well, if we all
That'd
come
be a good
back
project
with
for
it.
I've got nothing but time, Cliff.
You guys.
Yeah, yeah, he's got plenty of time. It's not busy in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, if we come back with some ideas for our November meeting, that would be great. Does anyone have any other questions or anything I may have missed that I was meant to ask him? No? Okay. Next, Bob Townsend's request, you all got a copy of that. This is basically, she told me she had called Cliff and discussed it. She just wants to do what she did last year. She would like to reserve it from the Friday evening so they could set up some of it. They did bring in $11,500 for the Alzheimer's associations. They had people from Michigan and one from Georgia come for the tournament. They are very busy, their pickleball courts, and yet again, she would like more. I did mention that, perhaps if we ever have any more money, we could put them in a different location. And she would prefer that they be up here, where they are already. Because when you have a tournament, you need all the room. She's not happy that people throw trash in there and leave their trash. And when they go down to play, they have to clear out all the courts. And I really didn't have an answer for that. There's not much you can show.
We go down there every morning and pick up anything that's there, but if they come in after we're gone and.
I know, there's nothing you can do, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I think they always look great when I'm there.
We gotta do a little paint work on them in the spring, but around.
Did you mention that you might have to do something with the concrete for the nets?
Well, the way it got piecemealed between several different companies, the company who did the surface wasn't gonna warranty it because the concrete was supposed to be beneath the asphalt
Okay.
instead of flush with it. So what's happened is that the concrete and the asphalt expand and contract at different rates, so the paint's chipped off right there around the poles. So we gotta repaint those areas.
So not a huge repair,
No, just paint, not a big deal.
okay,
But I'm gonna wait till spring to do it now, because they'll move it around again this
Right.
winter, so.
right. But she just wants basically what she had last year. She's desperate to get it on the schedule. I didn't think it was going to be a problem. What do you
She's
look-
asking the entire day of Friday and Saturday. I'm willing to let her have them five.
No,
Yeah, she says the entire
and the
day.
evening on Friday and
And
Saturday.
I read it as she wants the full day, Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, because it says starting at 6:45 each morning.
Yeah.
That's all day
The
Friday.
main thing is they wanna leave all their banners and
And that's,
stuff.
I
in
think
there
she
locked
should
in.
get
Yeah.
from like 5 o'clock on Friday. They have all the time in the world to get their banners up, get their stuff in there. You lock them,
Yeah.
and then she can start. Does she really need? If she wants to tournament to play on Friday, that is very different than. Do you get what I'm like?
Yes.
If she
Yeah.
thinks tournament play is Friday and Saturday, I don't have a problem with that. But if
Right.
she just wants
Right.
to close the whole thing for an entire
Okay.
day,
Just to set up.
I
No,
disagree.
they play the tournament that day, and then they basically leave everything in that evening,
And then go back
play
the
the next day,
and take it in.
and then.
So she is
So,
playing
yeah,
Friday
2
and
days.
Saturday.
I
2
believe
days
so.
of tournaments.
Then that is fine. She can have it. I'm even willing to let her have Thursday evening to get her banner set.
Boy,
if
that's
what
kind
she
of
wants. But I thought she wanted a whole day just to
No.
hang some banners, and
No, I
that's.
think it's like Saturday and Sunday, they Friday, she was going to set up that evening. Isn't that what she did last year? This year?
I thought they set up the morning of the tournament, and then we kept locked that night.
So that they could just come the next day.
Yes, and they didn't have to take their banners down, all their stuff out of there, it was all safe locked inside the fence.
Okay, well,
Anyway, we're good with it.
Yeah, we're good. I think it's okay.
okay, well, I will, we'll have a little motion. I motion that we allow the tournament for the date specified. I will call her and give her our blessing and ask her to call and reserve with Matthew and fill out the proper paperwork, because there is a reservation form, I understand,
I believe
for
so.
things. If that's okay, so I've made the motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. Oh, I did forget one thing. I got an email from Matthew saying the mayor would like us to give our blessing, so to speak, for him to pursue the fitness center for the parks.
We talked about that. We were talking about,
We did that, I thought, 2 months ago.
well, last month, I thought we talked about the repair of the old equipment
No,
and stuff.
yeah,
being-
no, that's not
being
what
more-
I meant. I meant the new fitness thing that he would like to put in.
Right. And we were talking about how we've got old stuff that we'd rather spend money on and getting repaired than buying
Well,
new
this
fitness.
isn't that. It's this saying it's okay for him to pursue this, but he's gonna have to raise the money for it.
Oh,
Where this
then
isn't
yes.
us
Okay, I see.
doing,
Right.
giving money. We don't have any money. It's just our blessing that we think it's a good idea
Okay,
for
I
him
see.
to pursue.
I got you.
That was what the email said. Do we have thoughts? Look at his face.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what that means. But yeah, I mean, if it means we're blessing him to pursue further information,
Mhm.
have at it. But am I saying I'm okay with him building it? Like, that's open for interpretation, I think.
I don't think that's the case. I don't think there's no plan to build anything. It's like you said, just looking into it.
It's just information, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
He
just
has
a-
that blessing all day.
Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
mean, there was nothing in the email that said, A, he had money, or B, he had a spot.
Yeah. I think he can
Just-
keep asking.
He just wanted us
Yeah.
to be in favor of doing the project
Yeah.
at some point.
Yes.
So, yes, we are in favor.
Yes. I make a motion
You
that we
make a
accept
motion
his,
that we approve in principle? Is that
in
what we're
principle,
saying?
yes,
I like that.
that he move forward.
I will second that we move forward in principle.
in information gathering.
Oh, do you need a roll call?
All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Making sure I get your words right.
Anyone have any other comments? No, but November is our last meeting. And then we come back in February? I think it's February.
Yeah.
We don't
Usually
usually meet
February or
December
March.
and January.
Yeah.
So the next meeting is November 13th. And if we have no other questions, we are adjourned at 5:45. All right.
That was fun.
Well, I thought that was good news. The mayor,
No, that was good. And when you said you did all of that in 20 minutes,
I went in with a list,
you were
the Echo list.
ready to go.